welcome to the Fox Robbins Business Show. Welcome back, that is.
We hope.
This is somewhere north of 150 episodes at this point, so
I thought we were near 200.
this is not a new show. 200 is in sight.
It is in sight.
Yeah. This is the Fox Robbins Business Show, and this show is all about developing your best business ideas. We address the small business community, those who are simply thinking about starting a business, or those who already have started a business. And whatever your situation might be, we want to be helpful and provide advice or encouragement and direction and whatever that would be helpful to you. So we're going to do a couple of episodes on famous mascots, and we'll get to that in a second. But I'm Bill Fox, the co-host of the show. The other co-host, and get this,
Our famous mascot
is the we're talking about the bodacious, dynamic, and electric Coach Robbins.
Mr. Bill, thank you very much. Bodacious, that's me.
And you got to note, I mean, the coach has stuck with his show somehow. Nobody has explained that yet.
I can't explain.
We'll have to
for
get the
either
New
one
York
of us.
Times to look into it or something.
It's fun.
I know.
It's fun.
And as I say, we're going to do we're going to do 2 episodes. This will be number 1, and stick around for number 2. We're going to go talk about the top 25 mascots of all time, and you'll see what the symbols or mascots, whatever you want to call it. And it's fun to talk about, but it gives you an idea about what to do with your own business. It's part of the branding process. And Coach, that's the deal. Branding is everything. But if you those of you watching the show, if you look at this mascot thing and say, that's all I need is a hot mascot and I'm all set. Coach, is that true?
No.
Yeah.
Let me explain branding again for the 4,681st time to people, first time to you folks, I'm sure. Branding is not only about the logo. Branding is not only about your mascot. Branding is actually the perception in the mind of the market about the entire experience they will receive by doing business with a company. Now, certainly, the logo is instantly identifiable. The mascot is instantly identifiable over time, certainly. But these are not branding in and of themselves. They are a representation, a visual representation of your brand. But the brand is, I give you my money and I know exactly the experience I'm going to have. That's branding in its more developed definition.
Well, good, bad, or indifferent. I mean,
it can be bad.
I see your mascot or your symbol, and I know what I'm going to get. And I don't want it.
That could be it. I don't want to go there, right? I don't want to give you my money, right?
You want me to say, that's great. I see that symbol, and it reminds me of a good total experience.
Yep. And I'm going to recommend it to other people, and now you've got some free sales.
The products, the services provided,
pricing,
or the servicing, the help, the
availability,
the pricing. I mean,
handling of problems.
Handling problems, right.
I mean, just trust. It's trust. I guess trust is a good 5-letter word.
Well, Coach, I'm going to get you started on
this handsome dude.
Yeah, and we're starting at number 20. We're going to do start with 25 and then work down toward
up.
Number 1.
Up to number 1.
Up to number 1. Yeah. Up. And I'm going to start you off with the Geico Caveman. Started 2004. The tagline: "So easy, a caveman could do it."
Right.
20 plus commercials. Then they thought it was so popular, they actually tried to put together a TV show as a complete flop. Boom.
That flopped.
Boom.
Yeah, right.
And so on these mascots, they're voted on because they in the jargon, they move the needle. They move the needle on the amp meter, talking about sales, revenue, income,
Market penetration, market share,
whatever,
right.
outdoing the competition or
Yeah.
whatever you're up to.
Grabbing a piece of the market you didn't have before.
I'll try this one out. Gidget, the Taco Bell thing with the big ears, started in 1997. This
The
is
talking dog, yeah.
there's a lesson in here, but it had the tagline in Spanish. A Spanish language was "Yo quiero Taco Bell," I want it.
Speak Spanish?
Yeah.
2 words.
Yeah, but that's all I speak.
That's those 2 words.
You just emptied my dictionary.
I want, right.
But international hit.
Yeah.
Recognizable toy figures dropped in 2000. That's 3 years, right?
They started, they only did that for 3 years.
I don't remember that there were complaints from the wider Latino community somehow that this was an insult.
I could see, where it's possibly an insult, with a little Chihuahua Mexican breed dog.
But that's symbolic of
Yeah.
Latinos, which apparently was not well received. So
I didn't know that, but I can see where they might take it. But the caveman doesn't offend anybody. And the thing about the caveman, not to go back to that, but it's very difficult. The message was it's very difficult to try to deal with an insurance company.
yeah,
And their message was dealing with Geico is so simple you could do it if you were a caveman,
Yeah.
which you're not. So I hope that, the only problem there is if somebody tried to do it and had trouble, then they'd think they're a caveman, then they'd be offended.
but we have this. I see this the Taco Bell thing on the list because there could be danger lurking. That's my point.
Yeah. Well, they realized
no matter what you do.
They didn't realize it, of course, but after a while, they probably realized and took it. I'm not Hispanic, and I didn't get it, but I can understand why somebody might have some kind of an offense to
Right.
it. I can understand that.
The next one, no insult here as far as I know. LC, the
Elsie the
Borden
cow.
cow.
Yeah, the
My
Borden
God,
cow,
this thing started in 1939. Mascot for Borden, dairy.
I was just a kid. No, I wasn't born. It's hard for me to say something.
It's still at work after 75 odd years or whatever.
I don't think it's a biggie today. You see it on occasion. I haven't seen it in years, but I am familiar with, as you are, that Elsie Borden is, the mascot for the cow. And
You walk down that aisle in the
you see it on
in the store, and you see that.
you
right
see
there.
it, and I recognize that symbol, and that's a symbol that's obviously Elsie is a woman, the homemaker, and that was different back in the 40s and 50s and 60s with the homemaker today is out working and running their kids to soccer, and so it's a lot different. But back then, you got your milk delivered probably by the milkman, in a glass bottle. So it was very popular to say, okay, here's Elsie, get Borden.
Am I supposed to say at this point that I actually literally remember that? The metal cage, metal cage bottle carrier on the back stoop
with glass.
With the glass, milk bottles.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I lie like a dog. And speaking of dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's timely. Here we go with Spuds McKenzie. Bud Light started somewhere back in the 1980s. Super Bowl ad sensation overnight. But get this, talk about the Taco Bell dog, in this case, MADD, M-A-D-D, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, or M-A-D-D, excuse me.
M-A-D-D, right.
Mothers Against Drunk
Good
Drivers, which said that this the symbol was helping to sell beer to minors. And they had to drop it. So here again.
Well, it did stick around for a while because, I don't know when in the 80s it started, but, I do remember Spuds McKenzie. It's kind of like Joe Camel, which I'm sure we'll get to at some point. I kind of understand what they were saying. You don't want to see minors getting out there and drinking or smoking or any of those things. So if this was, I mean, I don't know how they put it together. They were against it. Okay. You know, I think it's a wonderful organization.
So it was thought that it appeals, talk about a demographic thing. It turned out to have an appeal to younger
and that
people.
Could be bad. I agree
And
with
I don't know that you know that if you're Bud Light and your advertising agency proposes that, would it immediately occur to you that teenagers would react favorably to this and run out?
Well, if you had done some primary market research, you might have been able to recognize that. I doubt you would, but good for, you know, Anheuser-Busch for listening to MAD and saying, okay, I hear you, we're going to drop it. You know, good for them. I applaud them for that at least.
Now, try this one. This is Chiquita Banana. I'm Chiquita Banana,
and I want to
say.
I mean, we can all do it.
This is started way back, 1944. That's right in the height of the World War II.
Would you do me a favor? Would you stop saying way back?
I mean, goodness gracious.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
We cannot even think about bananas without Chiquita.
To this day, and that I cannot remember the last time I saw the ad, but the jingle.
Yeah.
You talk about the importance of a tagline. You talk about the importance of a logo.
Yeah.
You talk about the importance of an icon like this, a mascot.
Yeah.
But how about the jingle? You and I start singing the jingle. When's the last time you heard that? 10, 20 years ago? But we still sing it. Okay, so have a jingle, I guess. I don't know.
And actually, talk about not a mascot. You wouldn't call it a mascot. The symbol started out as a banana, as a piece of fruit.
Right. Well, that's what it is.
And in 1987, that was, what's that? That's 43 years later. It was recreated, as a woman.
Well, thank you for the 1987 and not saying that's a long time ago. Right? I didn't even know that until I saw this, quite frankly. When it started, it was just a plain banana, but that's dull. There's nothing unique about it.
It was a banana humanized, with eyes and, whatever.
That's stupid. I wouldn't have approved that in 1944.
I just wanted, here's your symbol. But in the case of the banana coach, talk about branding, the total experience thing. They had, this is like United Fruit was a big banana purveyor.
Big company.
They had to teach people how and when to use a banana. Did you know that?
How to peel it?
No, well, no,
Well, they have a monkey teaching them? I mean, monkeys know how to do it.
Well, like put it on your cereal, or bake it in a pie, or
really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's not a bad idea.
They had to teach people how to use a banana.
I think people would normally say I'd use a banana on cereal, but baking it in a pie might be something I didn't think about. Okay.
All right, animals. Morris the cat.
He died.
9 lives.
Yeah, well, he must have run out of them because I think he's dead. I think they went through several Morrises anyway.
I think they, let's see, started in 1969, voiced by John Irwin. The world's most finicky cat.
Right.
I mean, the concept that this cat is finicky in the extreme.
And they're all finicky.
And they're all finicky.
And this is the most finicky.
Right.
But he likes, 9 lives. Finicky as he is, he eats 9 lives. You put down, I remember the ads, you put down cat food, then eat it.
Yeah.
It's probably laced with something like they don't like. And then you put down the 9 lives, and of course it goes right for it because you starved him for 3 days.
Actually, a cat appeared in movies, I don't remember, but that's what they say. And 3 books about Morris the cat, or what?
He wrote them?
Yeah, probably. Smart cat.
Smarter than I thought.
Okay, cereals. Breakfast cereals. Trix.
Way back in 1959.
59. Yeah, 59.
I can live with the way back in 1959.
That was the start of the sales of Trix cereals rose perceptively.
Yeah.
silly rabbit, tricks are for kids.
Right. Now that's targeting the way McDonald's targeted kids with Ronald McDonald, which I'm sure we'll get to. That's huge. But they target, I mean, obviously, who the heck is going to eat tricks for breakfast? I'm not, never did. But they were targeting the kids with a silly rabbit. Silly rabbit, I know as much as you love tricks, it's just for kids. Perfect. It was a great ad campaign.
But this is this is way back in the days when it popularized breakfast cereals for mothers and dads. You make the cereals are all sugary. I mean they're
well, actually, I think
it's terrible.
You would have gotten more nutrition if you ate the box instead of
Okay, here's a couple of your favorites. Going back to the animal thing, there's a couple here for you guys to think about. The Aflac duck, and Geico gecko.
Yep.
A little slithery little green guy.
Yeah.
They're both still on.
Oh yeah, they're big today. They're huge today.
The duck started back in 1999. The story was that somebody at an ad agency thought that Aflac, the word sounded like a duck. There's a piece of creativity, Coach.
It is, because it sounds like quack.
Yeah.
Quack, quack, Aflac.
Yeah. Somebody saw that.
Matter of fact, there's a tagline for them: quack, quack, Aflac.
And they also, one of the...
of course, quack, quack might make you think you're crazy.
One of the first and instantaneous success was this duck with a Yogi Berra in a haircut shop, a barber shop.
Right.
And Yogi talks in circles. But
Yogi is, God rest his soul, a funny guy.
But he says, if you have an accident, you get money, and that's something that you can actually spend.
Right away. Money. Right away. Money you can actually spend, right? Yogi was hysterical.
And the gecko, and Coach, on that gecko thing, you gotta admit, I mean, I've always thought it's funny. It's Geico is not a word. It's a general
government
employees
insurance company. Right. Yeah.
Anybody know that? Anybody care?
Nobody knows it, because I've asked people on occasion. Did you ever do? You know what Geico stands for? Not a clue.
But I'm saying to you, there's here's this Geico, which is not there's no such thing. It's a
acronym.
Acronym. Thank you.
You're welcome.
God, you're really on it today.
I'm telling you. It's
and acronym.
It's
Geico,
working from
gecko.
way back.
I mean, who spliced that together?
It's
kind
of
it's clever.
Well done. I mean, of course, the Aflac and the Geico, I mean, they are so recognizable. I can tell you right now, my little Shih Tzu hears the ad start, and he gets right up in front of the TV barking at both of them.
I'll tell you one.
He's recognized.
I'll tell you guys one thing. If you're the business owner, you were a business owner. If you're a business owner, I come to you and say, we want a symbol as this little slimy green guy, is going to be the symbol. Would you approve that? No, come on now.
I'd have to see the ads, because the way you described it, my quick answer would be no. I'll be polite because we're on the air. Kiss my what? What are you talking about, this thing? How can this thing be attractive? The duck is cute.
Yeah, the duck is cute.
But the slimy little lizard, I don't know. I'd need some convincing. But obviously it did work.
Yeah.
Because he's lovable. He's human.
He's in there because he's lovable. That's right.
He orders Chinese food for his little tiny New York apartment. They're all little and tiny.
But it's also the voice is an Englishman.
That's right.
I believe.
Yeah, it's
and so there's
some sophistication.
It's an accent.
Yeah.
That accent could be German, French, Latino, Chinese. I mean, it could be anything. It's an Englishman, but it works.
It does. It works well. But you're right. At first, I'd say, wait a minute. You show me the ad. I need more proof.
Yeah.
Show me the marketing research, too.
Here's this is not a, we're coming now. This is not a person. This is an object.
Yeah.
In this case, Speedy Alka-Seltzer. started in 1951, so that's a while back, as Sparky,
Well, Sparky,
changed to Speedy
Sparky doesn't do it at all.
to match the advertising theme of speedy relief is the idea.
Yeah, I mean, I
works
don't know,
fast.
Sparky was stupid, to be honest with you. But Speedy, that sends the message that if you have an upset stomach or whatever it's good for, you know, acid indigestion, that an Alka-Seltzer will cure you fast, whereas others won't. So Speedy should be his name. He did the right thing.
It said that, noted here, the original model was only a little 6-inch thing. You know,
Yeah.
that's it.
That's all it takes.
A little thing, it's a boy, I guess, and it's a
Yeah, it's a boy.
and it's red hair with coming down here. You know, that's very clever stuff.
It is.
And a little pill,
And
pill on the top
Yeah,
of his
and
head.
he's happy and he feels good, and I don't know what his hand's doing, but yeah, no, that's pretty good. But that too is faded into history. I haven't seen that on in a while.
Isn't that still used? They still have it on the
I think
package?
they, like you said, I don't think they're not spending money on TV because it's so expensive, but I'm sure it's still on the package. I'm sure it's still in the, in this slotted Stop and Shop aisle or something.
Well, in a sense, it's not objectionable, and people aren't
There's nothing anybody-
parading in the street with signs.
No, maybe, redheaded people from Ireland might object to the hair or something. I don't know. You always find somebody that'll object to something.
Here's another. It's an object, but it's an object as shaped as an animal. It's Woodsy the owl. This is the government, Coach. This is USDA.
The Forest Service, right?
Yeah, Forest Service. And it started back in '74. An icon for conservation. That's not a product, not a service provided, so to speak. It's to promote the idea of conservation, environmental. It's an environmental symbol, right? It says the tagline: "Give a hoot, don't pollute."
Lend a hand, care for the
Lend a
land.
hand, care for the land.
And
I
this-
tell you what's not on here. We have this Woodsy the owl. There was also, I don't know if you recall, that there was a Native American Indian looking
I do.
out across the land with trash and garbage and pollution, with a teardrop coming down his eye.
Yeah.
Do you
To
remember
me, that was impactful.
Yeah.
I vaguely maybe remember, but 1974, that was a long time ago. I vaguely remember this Woodsy owl, but I remember
The
that Indian standing there looking at his land and just a tear, as you say, that was impactful to me.
That was incredible.
That was a good,
And,
that was a good ad.
If you remember that, though, you'll also, it's not on here either, is the bear.
Well, that's about forest fires.
That's
still
prevent
done.
forest fires.
Smokey the bear. That's good. That's bigger than this one, in my opinion. But this is their list, not mine, obviously, because I've been complaining to you about this list for about 3 days now.
Well, we're going to have to consult with you and get a new list.
We need a new list, believe me.
We might have to do that, make a new list.
Yeah, this is a good one. This is.
And we're going back to, cereals of doubtful nutritional value.
No, the box is very nutritional.
Snap, Crackle, and Pop.
Yeah, right.
This is a cartoon. It's not
Yeah.
a person or an object or whatever. It's cartoon characters. Kellogg's Rice Krispies started way back in the 1930s. My goodness.
Actually, I don't think this is a bad cereal, but
It started with Snap. In '36, they added Crackle and Pop. Originally, they were brownies with big ears and hats, and evolved into more, human-like characters. Although
brownies? What do you mean, like Girl Scout brownies, or just eat chocolate brownie?
no,
Brownies?
when they originally, they're using the word here, brownies as the mystical, figures.
Oh, the little thing. Okay, yeah, all right. Well, they kind of are that now.
Not human.
Oh, yeah, okay, all right.
Synthetic.
Yeah.
Whatever. And how about this one? This now, Fruit of the Loom, which is underpants. Here we go. Fruit of the Loom underwear. It started in 1975.
You want to try this one, tie into this one together? Go ahead. 3 men. I know my picture here shows a 4th man. It started with 3, apple, an autumn leaf, and grapes for whatever. But the brand identity zoomed 98%. You know, okay. And that's the goal.
And you can still see it today.
Yeah, I can see it today.
I mean, the lasting value of some of these is
this
incredible.
one. This is one that's hung on for a long time.
But you know, you look at these, look at these figures and think, you know, your underpants, right?
No, it doesn't make me think of my underpants. Except that when I see it now, I know I think of underpants because it's switched my thing. But I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole on TV or any other place.
Well, they're fruity apple.
Yeah, they're fruity, all right.
Leaf grapes, because it says fruit of the loom. The loom is the machinery, the loom that sews the underpants.
Right.
And this is a delicious output from the machinery.
Sure it is.
You figure it out.
No, I'm not touching it. I'm moving to the next one.
Here's what you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, this one was bad.
This is
the research done on this. I don't know about the research that Mad may have done on the dog. And I'm sure they did do some, but this one was huge. This one definitely was enticing, I mean, really young kids to smoke because this guy's cool and I'm 12 and I want to be cool, right? This one really was a problem. Because cigarettes are a problem anyway.
The dark glasses, the hat.
The Lion SOBs have been killing, millions of people for years.
A cigarette sticking out.
Cigarette companies, yeah.
That was a huge controversy.
There's stuff in cigarettes even today that they can't bring to a dump.
But in this case, I don't think the cigarette people, willingly dropped this. I mean, I think it was a big fight. It was a bare knuckles fight in a dark alley.
It was a bare knuckles fight in Congress in the dark alley with all of the CEOs of cigarette companies lying through their eye teeth too. But that's another issue, not for this show.
Coach, we gotta cut off for a minute here.
Yeah.
On this episode, we're number 3. We'll start with number 12. Go to part 2. So be on the lookout for part 2 because we want to finish off. Go down from 12 down to 1. This is the Fox Robbins Business Show. Send us any comments that you'd like to shoot in our direction to foxrobbins@gmail.com. And we will see you guys next time.